Salut tout le monde, c'était Stevie et aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour un nouvel épisode de Un Américain réagit à du rap toulousain. Cette fois-ci à distance car je ne suis hélas plus à Philly. Je suis aujourd'hui avec Cam, aka Shot Clock.
Yo, what's going on? My name is Shot Clock. I'm a producer, engineer, songwriter. I've done some cool stuff like I've had my music at South by Southwest. I've won a Kenny Beats battle. And yeah, here to listen to some French music, man. I'm excited.
Have you ever listened to French rap at all or not?
French rap, no. I remember there was like that little era where it was Korean trap music that was coming out.
Yeah.
I believe it was Korean.
Yeah.
Like Ichima.
Yeah.
Squash shit. Ichima. On the water squat. Skirt. Your dirty moment count.
And shit like that. But I don't think I've ever listened to French rap music yet.
Okay, so it's the first time for you.
First time, yeah.
Yeah. All the songs I sent you are from artists from my city, so Toulouse, which is a city in the south of France. I send you the links to each video in the chat, and I also send you a translation of the lyrics for each song, if you want to follow along
Got you.
and understand what they say.
Alright. First time listening to French rap music. Let me see.
J'étais dans une salle d'attente chez un médecin, pas envie d'être là. Et maman s'inquiète moins depuis que je suis beaucoup moins sous cette là. Non, les mensonges, allô, vous êtes là. J'ai roulé un joint avec deux potes donc j'ai tiré cette là. Quand je fais mal, je fume, c'est comme une corrélation. Je marche dans ma ville comme dans un film.
Yeah.
Une étoile, moi je suis une constellation. Tu m'écoutes rapper puis tu vois à mon rap une consécration. Merci Sénard pour la prod encore. Les gens qui disent qu'ils sont les meilleurs, on les met en tort. Et même les yeux plissés, je reste pas simple à cerner. Le monde
Like, I don't know what he's saying, but this shit is bumping.
Yeah, there's a really good bounce.
Like his flow is nice.
On est les meilleurs, c'est juste parce qu'on est unis. Et vu comment on mange tout le monde, on va finir par devenir obèse. Game over, game over, game over, game over.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, and he's really young too, I believe he's like 19, 18 or 19?
He's 19?
Yeah, I believe
Oh,
so.
this kid is young.
Yeah.
Besoin du bac, c'est ce qu'on m'a dit, mais j'écoute autre chose. J'écoute la prod et ce LUG comme le couteau chaud. Mon daron était riche, maintenant les riches, ça me dégoûte, poteau. Je suis nostalgique, je prends des pics. 2 ans plus tard, je prends des coups de photo, je bouffe automate. J'ai pas de but, j'ai pas de pouf, automate. Je suis avec la seule qui rayonne, jamais on goûte au dommage.
When you see white rose, make sure you say I did you good.
Okay, you kinda cutting up. I like that.
Yeah.
So you say he's 19 years old doing that?
Yeah, I think so. 18 or 19 is like really young.
The visuals were pretty spot on. Like, I was fucking with it. It was like dark and grungy and like the editing on it was really dope.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking with this a lot. Well, so which one am I doing next? Is it, am I just doing them in order?
You can go any order you want.
Any order I want. Okay, got it. I'm trying to see. I kind of want to pull up this dieb'z. Am I saying that right? Is it dieb'z?
Dieb'z, yeah, dieb'z.
Oh, dieb'z, okay, dieb'z, okay. I kind of want to play this one just because the title of it has a lot going on.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, here's the next one. I feel like this is about to be some dark shit.
You'll see.
Like, bro, getting ready to go on a mission in broad daylight.
Fuck les basses qui font. Mais faut que les tasses qui font pas le bon, je kiffe tes basses qui font.
Hey.
Je clique sur des snares qui font et des basses qui font petit coup.
Where's bro running?
Petit quoi, tu dis
Yeah.
des basses qui font.
He getting back.
Je clique sur des snares qui
This song goes damn live, man. It's crazy.
Tu crois l'état quand il parle, moi je clique sur des basses qui font. Il faut que l'état qui fait balle, donc je clique sur des snares qui font et des basses qui font.
Yo, she's doing him dirty.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mais faut que l'état qui fait balle, donc je clique sur des basses qui font.
Yeah, yeah. She's fucking it up.
Yo, she fucking murdered him.
Mais faut que l'état qui fait balle, donc je clique sur des basses qui
For
font.
a cigarette, I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, man.
That's a fuck around find out.
Yeah, exactly.
That one was quick.
Yeah.
But I like that one a lot. That shit was hard.
Yeah, and about the title, basically it's just like the sentence of the chorus. Like it's I rap on some basses, some bass, some 808.
Oh.
So every chorus it goes, I rap on some 808 that goes, and then you have the 808 healing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. That's cool. I fuck with that. I'm 2 for 2 so far, alright?
Okay,
2
yeah.
for 2 on what I've been seeing. Next, Nascence.
Merci encore beaucoup pour ce soir, un maximum de bruit pour vous.
Oh, you be doing shows and shit?
Yeah, I was at this show
Oh, so
actually.
this is somebody.
L'ampleur, descend, let's go.
Wow, là c'est dur d'être concentré. Comme une impression de déjà vu. Ça commence à peine, j'en peux déjà plus. La plupart comprennent pas mon délire. Je suis un peu la bouteille à la mer qui part à la dérive. Je trouve ça pénible. Ne dis plus jamais non, non, non. Je t'en prie,
Oh, you got the call.
évitons le
Yeah.
sens.
Yeah,
Évitons le sens. L'amour n'a plus de sens.
it's a show,
J'ai
man.
souffert, pourquoi elle me manque? Pourquoi elle me manque? L'amour n'a plus de sens. J'ai souffert, pourquoi elle me manque? L'amour n'a plus de sang. J'ai souffert, pourquoi elle me manque? Je pratique le rap depuis un moment, maintenant ça fait déjà 10 ans que je suis dedans. Devenu bon d'après les gens, mais leur jugement m'apporte peu. J'aime la musique, mais je préfère maman. À la rentrée, j'ai autant de secrets que le Vatican. John et sa naissance, je pense que j'en ferai un docu. L'humiliation m'a rendu distant avec ma vie d'avant. J'ai pas les mots, du coup je mélange pensée et décision. Je vais d'avoir un peu de méditation devant un film de science-fiction. Ne dis plus jamais non, 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 je t'en prie, évitons le sens, évitons le sens. L'amour n'a plus de sens, j'ai souffert, pourquoi elle me manque? Ne dis plus jamais non, 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 je t'en prie, évitons le sens, évitons le sens. L'amour n'a plus de sens, j'ai souffert, pourquoi elle me manque? Pourquoi elle me manque? Pourquoi elle me manque?
Yeah, that one's a fat W.
Okay, yeah.
That's a banger right there.
Yeah. This guy has like an entire universe, like a real, like he created an alter ego character and everything like that.
Is that like one of the songs from said like universe?
Yeah, every song he does is pretty much from his universe, yeah.
That's really how you have to do it. Like, give people something like interesting to
Yeah.
like be a part of, you know?
Like when I
hold
went
on,
to
what-
this show, I pretty much never listened to his. I heard one of his songs, but that's all. I just went because one of my friends told me like it was gonna be late, so I just went, and like it just got me right away with like. He knows how to put on a show, and this entire universe like just gets you, and you just get right into it.
I rock with that. I rock with that. It's
Yeah.
kind of that reminds me of how like MF Doom would have like a whole bunch of different like characters that he would
Yeah.
rap as, and like he would release like whole albums like as Quasimodo or like King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
I really like when rappers go that extra mile to do stuff like that, because like it gives like the fans something more to listen to than just like I'm good with my words or like, you know, just stuff like that. I love
Yeah.
that. All right, so let's see. We did Game Over, WarEnd, dieb'z. We got 2 more.
Yeah,
Stan.doe. Am I pronouncing it
yeah,
right?
Stan.doe, yeah.
And then Diego Spa.
Spit.
Spit.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I don't want to butcher. Listen, I don't want to butcher anyone's names right now. I'm just like I'm the American that knows like one language. All right.
Don't worry, they won't take it bad.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on. Let's go into Diego's pick. Oh.
Voyage infernal au fin fond des abysses. On récolte le mal que l'on attise. Hypocrisie, tout n'est pas lisse. On te porte intérêt seulement si ça ratisse. La méfiance régit nos vies. Très dystopique, mais les utopies sont naïfs.
Yeah.
La terreur et la panique sont deux paires quand on est en faillite. Et l'humain ne fait que dépester. Il consomme et ne fait que prétester. À chaque acte, il ne sait que prétexter. Et il espère être le moins détesté. Oh merde, on a dépassé le dépassement. J'ai tendu à croire que la vie n'est qu'un passe-temps. Tout ça n'est que cyclique, venant partant. Même si à chaque cycle, il n'y a que des passants. Je rentre dans un jeu parfois superficiel. Je me compare aux autres, je veux une image publique. Plus jamais je dois dire je veux vivre de la musique. Non, je veux vivre la musique, alors je rapperai jusqu'à ma mort. Même si jamais je fais pas de score. On s'en bat les couilles, l'important c'est la transmission d'émotions. Messager, je crois que c'est ma dévotion. Alors oui, je fais du rap et nique sa mère à ceux qui disent que j'ai la dégaine d'un chanteur. Je préfère être traité comme tel et puis tant pis, je suis pas comme ces bâtards de menteurs. Ouais, souvent je dis ce que je pense, je suis jamais le beau.
What he's saying, but he's putting his fucking heart.
Yeah. This song is like really like engaged, you know. Like it's like spitting his truth.
Right. Sound like American heart out. I like that.
Dans cet océan de clash, on est tous des lâches. Le pire c'est que demain on tournera la page. Et ça passe dans la rue, bastos, flashball, pow. Pas de bol, salaud, paf. Trop de pansements, mais personne ne pense au sang. Fracture d'un peuple qui se sent trop grand. Le pire c'est qu'il y a trop de virages. Réalité, y a pas de mirage. On peut mettre une tête au coupable dans le village, mais la mort n'aura jamais de visage.
This song,
Yeah.
obviously we've gone over the fact that like I don't know what some of the I don't know what a lot of the words being said are.
Yeah.
I think judging off of like flow, like instrumental choice, I'm starting to realize that it's really like the style of hip hop that you're showing me. I don't know like who's more popular than who's getting plays, all that shit, but what I'm starting to realize is like the style as a whole is a lot more like, it's almost like industrial, so to say.
Yeah.
Like it's very metallic, like the snares are really sharp, like the melodies are just really dark, grimy, almost like especially like this one like when I got about halfway through, it started giving me like early Hobson like type of vibe, where he's like really like talking about his shit and getting it off. And I was like for a second it almost like took me back, because it's like nostalgic of like how some of the music that was in like the conscious underground was.
Yeah.
And say like, you know, 2017, 2018. But like it has its own flair. Like the sound choices and the beats are a lot different. Obviously the flow's different, but like these have been dope so far.
Okay, yeah.
Let me load up this
the last one. The choice I made, the songs I chose today, I didn't like really do it on purpose, but yeah, most of them are pretty like dark and grimy, at least on the instrumental side. The last one though is not that dark, to be fair. It's good.
This is like it's about to be some turn up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, je redécolle à peine j'atterris. Faire des tas à toute vitesse, je veux changer la life de ma chérie. Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, péri, péri.
Hold on.
Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, péri.
Hold on. Hey.
Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, je redécolle à peine j'atterris. Faire des tas à toute vitesse, je veux changer la life de ma chérie. Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, péri, péri. Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, péri, péri.
Yeah. Millions d'euros, dollars, berry. Je monte sur Paris, je claque mes radis. Avec ma chérie, prends les paris, pilote le
Oh, this is like some lavish house music. I like this.
Yeah.
Chelou, la dalle, je t'ai déjà dit. J'ai grave les crocs, Jean-Pascal Zadi. Yeah. Les maladies, yeah. Impossible qu'elle me baratine. Yeah. Elle m'a connu pendant la guigne. Yeah. Les traites, j'en connais tous les signes. Yeah. Code la mallette s'active, frère. Fais attention, tu parles à qui, frère? L'argent, c'est le problème de qui, frère? Y'a que des solutions ici. J'ai le mental d'Abu Dhabi.
Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, je redécolle à peine j'atterris.
He killed that verse.
Yeah, he's slid on that.
That flow was
Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, péri, péri. Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, péri, péri.
Millions de dollars, mais c'est quoi le mille? Je ressors d'un burn, je retourne en cabine. Tout pour le charbon, vit dans une mine. I need a new girl, my old one was me. Elle a pris mes keys, ma place de parking. M'a laissé mes jeans, elle est paradine. Ça va car je trim, solo pas de tir. Je vois déjà les streams, les disques de platine et yeah.
Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, je redécolle à peine j'atterris. Faire des tas à toute vitesse, je veux changer la life de ma chérie. Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, péri, péri. Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, péri, péri. Millions d'euros, dollars, péri, je redécolle à peine j'atterris. Faire des tas à toute vitesse, je veux changer la life de ma chérie. Millions d'euros, dollars,
such
péri,
What? I didn't understand it.
Yeah, like AI art for like music videos.
Yeah.
Like that is a very interesting way to use it, and I think it actually landed.
Yeah.
I think this landed. I'm not big on like AI. I'm not a fan of it personally, but I think when it's used in inventive ways,
Yeah, it can be good sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
There's also a lot of bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. There's so much bad AI art.
Yeah.
And so much bad AI shit. It's just like when it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
When it's good, it's good. But yeah, no, that goes 5 for 5.
Okay,
That's
nice.
5 for 5 with every one of those.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is probably is dieb'z.
Jebs. Yeah.
dieb'z. Just because that whole visual of him like running up on the girl, swiping her cigarette,
Yeah.
and getting just like body for it, like that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, the music video is crazy.
Very inventive video.
Yeah.
Like the sound of it, all of that.
Wanna quickly like check the translations of the lyrics?
You know what? I wasn't reading the translations to the lyrics because I was watching the videos for it. All right, let me go through and look at it. Let me find the wait. Okay, I'm looking at this. Okay, hold on. There might be some bars in here. Oh wait. This song is mad simple.
Yeah.
It's like I rap on some snares that go, and some basses that go.
Yeah. It's like it says in the chorus, like he don't in the song actually. Yeah, he doesn't really like doing that stuff, but he knows that it's what's working, so he's like, yeah, fuck it, let me do this.
Right, you know what? And I feel that because sometimes it'd be like, yo, like sometimes people be asking me for beats, and I'm just like, yo, I don't make hyper pop beats.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you this like cool hyper pop beat, and then this shit will be hard. And it's like, cool, you got your hyper pop beat. Go ahead with that.
Yeah.
I like.
And
I like
the
that.
interesting thing is like, pretty much all of his other songs are like more old school, you know, more like boom bap beats and stuff like that. And it's one of the only songs like that goes like that, and it just goes with the theme of like, let's do what's working, fuck it. I need to do like one like actual song.
Let me just give y'all fucking one.
Yeah.
I love that. That was dieb'z.
Yeah.
Let me go on to what's this next one? Nations. This is WarEnd.
Yeah.
Most of them don't understand my universe. I'm like the bottle at sea that drifts away. So what I'm realizing is like, just reading through this, right?
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see this like on like in other languages as well as the translations, because like obviously rap is like, it's the word, this rhymes the word.
Yeah.
The words rhyme in French, but in English they translate almost to like, it almost translates like written poetry type shit.
I did my best to like keep a translation that's like the original lyrics, but also sounds at least a bit good. Because sometimes a single word can be translated into like 10 words in English, so you have like a really long sentence for like a really short thing. So I try to sometimes try and modify it a bit so you can keep the flow, but yeah.
Hold on, bar alert. If you say hi to me, you better say it to my entire team.
Yeah.
You're not credible. I need to calm down. Don't have the energy for that bullshit. I like when niggas talk, they talk. I love that shit, man. Hold on, let me get to the chorus. Don't tell me no again. I'm begging you. Let's avoid bloodshed. Yo, man's is dangerous, ain't he?
Yeah.
Man is dangerous. He begging for the other person not to have bloodshed. John is WarEnd's alter.
Yeah.
What is this alter ego thing with John WarEnd?
I don't know where it comes from, but yeah, it's like the crazy side of him is John.
Got it. All right, let me look at Selug. Let me look at Gain Over, because I was actually rocking with that. Oh, he shouted out the producer in the bridge?
Yeah.
That's cool. I love, if there's any way to get free beats, shout out your producers. Please shout out your producers. Listen, if I hear a song come out and the artist shouts me out, before that song gets another play, there's a 5-pack of beats in his email waiting immediately. It does not matter.
Yeah.
Shout out your producers. They do a lot of work and they appreciate it. I really liked how the vocal effects were, like the stutters on the chorus for Game Over. Like, it caught me off guard immediately, because like a lot of people just do like straight vocal stuff, or maybe they'll put like a little bit of extra like reverb and delay on their chorus to make it sound bigger. But I don't know, the stutter is like always been like one of my favorite vocal effects for, you know, this type of shit.
The new wave of like rappers in France, like the young one that starts to come up right now, a lot of them like do songs like this on some kind of like industrial beats with like a lot of stutter, voice effects and everything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'd say keep that shit. That's it's the creativeness that comes with the fact that like we're not playing with tape anymore. We're playing with computers, and like you can do a lot of these cool effects. Obviously I think you can take it too far, but I think when used tastefully, it makes for like a more interesting listening experience.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm reading this third verse now. So wait, he's talking about like not needing no diploma, rich people disgusting him. Like, I stopped maths to stop being disappointed in myself. Like, is he like, I want to talk shit, but it's like, did he like drop out of like high school or like college or something?
I believe he dropped out. I don't know if he dropped out, but judging by his age, he's like straight out of high school, or he maybe dropped out of high school. Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, feel that. They probably was telling him like, yeah, you need to just go to college, but no, keep on keeping on. I'm fucking with this. All right, let me see what is this Stan? Yeah, this is Barry. Okay, so what is berries? I need to know that.
It's the money in One Piece, the anime.
Oh yeah. Okay, I thought we was talking about. When I seen berries, I'm like,
no,
I
not
know
the fruit.
I know dollars. I don't know if berries is a real currency. Oh, that's hard. I love that. We're a big one.
Yeah.
Big one. Let me look at this, because his flow was really hard on the first verse.
Yeah.
The better dry and a blue for. Oh, you know what? So as I'm reading it, I'm realizing like the lyrics, like the lyrics go with the art that was made for the video.
I think he did everything, like putting the lyrics in the image generator and using that as a background image. Yeah.
That is very smart. That's very smart. See, I wouldn't have been able to tell that because I couldn't translate it, but knowing this now, like reading through the translation, is like, okay, this all like, he's talking about like betting in casinos, racing his girlfriend in a Ferrari. That's tough. That's tough. Back in the studio, need a good girl. I need a new girl. My old one was mean. Hey, yo, that's bar. That's bar. Sometimes the old mean, man. I will get you a nice one. You need money. The only way to be free to change the view and the size of my dick.
Yeah.
Like everything makes sense. It's just reading it. It's like, money gonna do that, bro? For sure. I ain't a doctor. I don't know.
I mean, the more power to him.
All right, let me read this last one. Chaos. This is the one where the bull was like really speaking to him.
Yeah.
Infernal trip to the depth of the abyss. Yeah, this started off. Let me get through this. Sadism is the watchword of the Matrix. That's a loaded sentence.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there. Like, I could tell that this was like a more lyrically like inclined type of artist.
Yeah.
Just from the way that he was rapping, just from the type of instrumental. He's really talking about like human condition and stuff.
Yeah, this song like is like about revolution and human condition. Yeah.
I'm really liking this. Like honest, this guy, like just reading through this shit, like this could be a song that I reasonably hear like in English.
Yeah.
And like the same kind of like themes and like ways that they're going about talking about it, like I can absolutely see.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, this is a solid fucking track. We lose the love when we spit out hate. Survivors of a shipwreck, we might end up swimming in this ocean of hostility. Yeah, this is some stand-up poetry type shit. I fuck with it.
Yeah, he's really good at writing.
This ain't no bullshit. This is like some legitimate like artistry going on in these songs. Yeah. I'm loving this. It's cool to me to see. It's cool to me to see just like how hip hop takes form in like other countries and other cultures.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, there's like Ichima, obviously, but like also just like we don't get to see much from other countries in America, mostly because like, you know, a lot of us just speak one language. So a lot of us don't get exposed to other ways of like how music is made.
Yeah.
Like I remember when K-pop became a big thing and K-pop fans were telling me, because they knew I made music, they were telling me about like the rappers in the K-pop.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, he's so good. And I was like listening to it and I'm like, this is very different from like anything I've heard that I would consider rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's for the worse, but sometimes it's for the better, because there's very different ideas of like what constitutes as a good song. And I think that there's room for all of them. And I really enjoy getting a chance to like look at like French rap music. It's super cool.
And for a while, like America was the kind of the mainland of rap. Like I know in France until like, I believe like 5 years ago, maybe 6-7 years ago, we were just like doing what's trending in the US, but rapping in French. But there was like nothing that was personal to us, you know? And like right now it's starting to really develop, where some artists just go and do their own thing, and we start to have like our own style. But yeah, for a while we just did what was done in the US, but was like 2 or 3 years late, so there is like pretty much no chance for it to reach the US back, because you already heard that with some lyrics that you understood. So
Right. Nah, most definitely. But even still, I think the most important thing is like when music kind of like translates through other cultures and other styles, like you kind of like change, like most countries and styles like change it in ways that are like not even like thought of in the first place. Like drill music started in Chicago, and then it went over to the UK. It came back from the UK to Brooklyn, and now Brooklyn, the UK, and Chicago all have their own versions of drill, which are all equally fun to listen to.
And we actually have our own style of drill in France too, that I don't think I've heard in the US. Maybe like 1 or 2 songs. Like we have a lot of like guitar-driven drill with some more like upbeat melodies and stuff like that I don't think I've heard in the US.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, I gotta try. I
can send you some tracks to listen to. Yeah,
for sure. Send me some tracks.
So out of the like 5 songs I've shown you today, with the lyrics and the song in mind, which one would be your favorite? Sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna go from. I'm gonna tell you which one was my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you my top 3.
Okay, yeah.
Give you my top 3. Sorry, it's early over here, man.
Yeah.
So, first off, I'm probably going to say my favorite one is Game Over.
Okay, yeah.
Game Over might be my favorite one, but the second one is definitely
dieb'z.
Dieb'z. It's a tie between Game Over and dieb'z.
Okay.
The next one that I really liked was Berries.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I'm a sucker for that house shit. I'm a big Hatronada fan, so like, house in like any of its forms is just like always something that I'm just like drawn to.
And
but those are easily my top 3.
Yeah,
I love those.
I don't know. Do you have a lot of like house and rap mashups in the US? Because since it's not a style that I listen to a lot, even in France, I've never took the time to see if you have some in the US. But I know that in France it's like really big, you know, some house rap songs.
Yeah, so like I would say that like house becoming like a more sort of like mainstream style in America is starting. Like last year there was 2 albums, one by Drake, one by Beyonce, that were like house centric. And those, and like obviously those are like really cool, but like also Hatronada has been doing this really cool spree of albums with artists such as Amine and IDK, where he's going and making like full house projects with rappers. So the idea of house sliding into like the mainstream appeal, even from like, you know, what we would consider the underground to the mainstream, recently that's become more of a thing. And I think it's for the better because I really enjoy it. Because I know that in the US, like in the club you'll mostly hear trap music, but like in France you don't have that much trap music going to clubs. It's more like rapper going on some hybrid beats between trap and house with, you know, some 4 on the floor kicks and stuff like that. Right.
Yeah,
no, that's it's a lot of trap over here. To be honest, I don't make trap beats anymore because I got tired of hearing trap beats. Like, I hate when I get to a point in the beat where I'm like, what am I doing for the bass? And it's like, I can only use like 808s and like the melody is in a minor key, and then I realize I made a trap beat, and then I get tired of listening to it. It happens so often.
Yeah. All right. Do you have like something to shout out before we end the video?
Things to shout out. Shit, I want to shout out my studio, Spit Philly.
Yeah.
This is actually where we met.
Yeah.
Came to one of the open mics, and you were killing it with the beats.
Niggas ran for the cheese. Seen so many giving up on their dreams. Too many homies that turn to a fiend. So many phonies that turn to a fiend.
I want to shout out my studio. We're doing more events. We're doing a lot more stuff. If you're in Philadelphia for whatever reason, I'm here to take a session. I'm down to get in the studio with anybody. So big shout outs to my studio. And other than that, give me a follow on Pretty much just TikTok and Instagram and YouTube.
Okay.
You can find me at Prod Shot Clock. And yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, no problem.
It's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
It's been a real pleasure.
Alors du coup, c'est la fin de cette vidéo. Donc comme il a dit, je vous invite à aller le follow sur tous les réseaux, je vous les affiche à l'écran. Et puis, j'espère que cette vidéo vous aura plu. On se retrouve pour une prochaine. Et puis salut!